Hey class, so today we're going to talk about the second most important fundamental of the golf swing, which is the grip. So there are several ways in which a golfer holds the golf club. One is where you are very neutral, and whenever you're gripping the golf club, the thumbs are right in line with each other, and you can almost go palm to palm, put both of your hands together, and put your hand on the golf club. Obviously, this varies from golfer to golfer depending on um, their golf swing. So my swing is a very good example of another way of doing it. Um, with the hand that I have a golf glove on, you can see that my wrist is a little rolled, and you can see the top of my hand. The hand below it, you can see that it's a little bowed backwards, and there is a little bit of flexibility in my wrist. One important factor to understand is that there are three ways to grip the golf club. One we already talked about, which is very neutral, where the palms almost line up with each other. In this case, in my golf swing, I have a very strong golf grip. So my lead hand, which is the one with the golf glove, um, is strong is because the whenever I come to impact with the golf ball, my lead hand is the one that has the golf glove on. So some characteristics of a golfer that have a strong grip is the left hand holds the pressure in which holds the golf club. The hand below the lead hand is the one to give guidance. So in this case, whenever I take the golf club back, you will see that I rotate my wrists to this point. So whenever I take it back, the golf club is parallel to the ground, and in comparison to a golfer who may have a neutral grip, they take it straight back, but they have to do less work. In this case, whenever I take the club back, I've been trained to roll my wrist to where the club face is square whenever I take the club back on plane. So whenever we go a little bit further, right here at a 90-degree angle when I have the club, you can see the entire face of the club head. This just means whenever, going back to proper plane, whenever I get to the top of the swing, it'll stop parallel to the ground and it'll be pointed towards my target. But one important factor to elaborate on is whenever you take the club back, you should have this 90-degree angle. I paused it at a weird point in the video, but my lead arm, which is my lead hand with the one with the golf glove, should be parallel to the ground. In concurrence, the golf shaft of the club should be pointed straight up in the air halfway through the swing, creating this 90-degree angle. So to understand having a good grip, right here at the top of the swing, the wrist of the lead hand should have no bow in it. It shouldn't be rolled over to where you can see a deformity in the wrist where you see only the top of the lead hand, and you should not see a crease in the wrist for the club being extremely open at the top of the golf swing. So here you can still see that the club is nearly parallel to the ground, and you can see the entire club face. This means that my grip is good, I have good grip pressure, I have good control of the golf swing, not allowing much lag from the wrists to make the golf swing super long. And then as I start the downswing and I come back to this point, my lead hand has not rolled over yet to square into the golf ball, which is good. It creates power through my legs to drive through the golf ball at impact. And then as I get to impact, I finally roll my wrist over. And then that's when you can see my right hand again. So this stopping point in the video shows a lot about my golf swing. Obviously, there's still some issues within the posture and the swing plane that I have in this particular swing. But overall, the grip is very good. You get this good triangular shape within my two arms. You see both my arms straight. You see that both my hands are exactly where they were at the beginning of the swing. For a side note, as I talked about in the video before, the back foot coming up at impact is some sort of compensation that happened along the downswing. Usually that's where all your inconsistencies come from. Most of the time you take the club back perfectly on plane, but usually posture or some portion of the grip gets out of whack and you start coming out of your posture, which I do here. But luckily enough, I time it up well to where the club face ends up square to the golf ball and it ends up going straight. And that's because I have a good grip. I have my lead hand leading into the golf ball at a slight angle, and the hand behind it is not under the golf club. It's not completely rolled over to where you can't see my lead hand. It's perfectly lined up to the original position that it was at the beginning of the swing. And then as I come through the golf ball, when the golf club is parallel to the ground, the back hand takes over the swing, which is good. Holding off the golf swing, which is a term that you will hear for hitting particular shots that curl off to the right, my lead hand is not visible anymore, which means I have fully rotated the head of the golf club, which is good. That means that the momentum of my body has transferred the energy through the golf ball to finish the golf swing. And then as we finish the golf swing, you see the wrists come around and finish behind my head, which is ideal for that of an amateur golfer. So overall in this particular video, the grip was not bad. A couple inconsistencies in the swing plane that I talked about in the previous video, but through the follow of the end of the swing, you can see that my left leg is perfectly straight, which is good. And if you refer back to my last video, you can see that my hips are slightly over rotated to the left, which means that there was something wrong in the downswing. Probably something to do with posture, creating that inconsistency as I come into contact with the golf ball. But a few things to consider whenever you're practicing is that taking your time gripping the golf club, making sure that you have all the concepts that are important, like interlocking your fingers, making sure that your lead thumb is directly under the thumb of the backhand, and then as you take it back, making sure that you have this nice 90-degree angle, as you see right here, to where you can see the face of the golf club, and you can see that the wrists are not hyperextended at the top, and then creating that slight lag at the downswing to create energy, and then leading through the golf ball with that lead hand to finish the swing with the hands behind you.